Hey, what's up, guys? It's Tat, and I wanted to talk a little bit about the anniversary live stream that Behavior held on their official Twitch channel and give you some of my thoughts. I'm not going to talk about like all of their collaborations and stuff, just because I genuinely do not particularly care. I'm really here about the gameplay and the quality of life features. First of all, the new chapter. I can't really say anything from a gameplay perspective because, well, I haven't played it. Killer looks kind of interesting, but I'm worried that they're just going to be played in sort of a 3-gen playstyle. Basically, the killer, from what I gather, is a trap setting killer, a sort of like hag and trapper, where you shoot out a pod, and when a survivor gets close to a pod, you can look through like a camera lens, basically, as the pod, and then shoot out like a projectile. And if it hits the survivor, you can track the survivor and then teleport to them, which has the potential to be really, really strong, but we don't know the numbers, the nuances, and the, basically anything apart from what they showed in the trailer. So it's hard for me to kind of gauge how useful the power will be and whether or not it'll be fun to play as and against. But yeah, it's cool. The new map looks pretty terrible. I'm gonna be honest. It looks great visually, but from a gameplay perspective, yeah, they said they've put a whole lot of like dense foliage everywhere, and I'm just assuming that I'm gonna get stuck on stuff everywhere, and that's not gonna be fun. So yeah, again, I'll probably have to play, a few rounds of that to see if it's really any good. But from a first impression, just looking at what they showed, yeah, some of the loops looked kind of insane. Pretty sure there was an LT wall with a with a pallet for some reason. I don't know if that will be there on the PTB though. Again, everything's subject to change, so it is what it is. Let's talk about some of the things that got leaked, but they talked about on stream, and that was the anti-camp mechanic and the various quality of life improvements. So anti-camping is a thing now. Basically, there's a meter for each hooked survivor. When a hooked survivor is on the hook and the killer is within very close proximity, like 5 to 10 meters, this meter will begin to fill up. If a survivor is within that radius, the meter slows down, and in the end game, once the exit are powered, the meter does not fill at all. It's completely paused. It cannot fill. When the meter fills, the hooked survivor, whether in the first or second hook stage, can unhook themselves. And of course, they get access to the 10 seconds of haste and endurance. This seems actually kind of useful and will discourage killers from camping. I don't think it's going to outright prevent camping, because you can still just proxy camp, but now at least you can't sit in front of the hook. Although you could argue that killers like Leatherface don't care because he can just deal with the unhooked survivor anyway, with how his chainsaw works, but that's less of an issue with the system and more of just an exploit with his power and just kind of how it works in general. They also talked about some map changes, and that is Coldwind Farm. Coldwind Farm is getting an entire rework. They didn't talk about it on the dev stream. You had to go to like their in-depth kind of detail page where they talk about everything on the dev stream, but apparently, from what I read anyway, the entire realm is being reworked. And this includes things like pallet spawns, the placement of generators, locations of structures. All this stuff is being rebalanced. And the first 2 maps in the Coldwind Farm to be reworked this summer are the Rancid Abattoir, which I thought was pretty okay, but okay, we're reworking it, I guess. And Cowshed, which, yeah, fuck that map. It's really, really stupidly strong for survivors. Even though I enjoy it as killer, but that's because I'm fucking insane. Yeah, generally speaking, Cowshed's a pretty unbalanced map, so it's good that that's getting reworked. Like I mentioned earlier, there are various quality of life improvements. First and foremost, there's now a perk search bar. So you can literally just type in the name of the perk or a word in the description of the perk if you can't remember the name, You know, you type in unhook or something and you'll get all the perks related to unhooking and hooking. And that's, yeah, it's just something we've been asking for basically forever. It's in the game now. Really cool. It will actually come with the new chapter release in June and transmission. So on day one, we will have the perk search bar, which is just a fantastic feature, and I'm really glad it's in the game now. We're also going to get a new kind of cosmetic in the game in the form of player cards. So this is like shooters and stuff where when you kill someone, you know, you have the banner that pops up with their emblem and their cute little anime banner and all that stuff. Yeah. That's coming to the game now. So hopefully that means we have less, you know, 50 plus page of charms in our loadouts and more other things. I assume it will appear in the lobby and like behind your loadout and stuff in the end screen. This is something that I've actually been really hoping they would do, and the fact that it's coming to the game makes me pretty happy. I thought it would be a good idea, and well, I guess we'll have to see whether or not it is. But I'm pretty excited about that. We also have a bot replacement feature. So when a survivor goes down and they're a little bit of a piss baby and they disconnect, finally the game will not be over because a bot will replace the survivor who disconnected. I don't know if it works the same for killer. I don't know if a killer disconnects, if a bot killer replaces the killer, but at least for survivors, we know 100% now that yes, if someone disconnects in the game, they will be replaced by a bot, and everyone will know. They'll have like a little tag next to their name and everything that just says bot, like they're an AI, and hopefully they're actually better than their teammate that disconnected. So that's nice. I'm trying to remember at this point if there was really anything more that I wanted to briefly touch on. There probably is, and I'm probably forgetting something, but I can't remember. So yeah, it must not be very important to me. That's it. That's all I have to say about the anniversary broadcast. Of course, I have it playing in the background, and it's at double speed, so it looks kind of goofy. But yeah, that's it. I think overall this is going to be a really good year for Dead by Daylight, and I'm excited to see how things pan out. That's it for me. See you guys later. Bye.